Here's how to install Google Tag Manager on a WordPress site. So there's a plugin I like to use called Google Tag Manager by WordPress, and it's by Thomas Geiger. And all you have to do, you don't have to download this from the web. All you have to do is navigate to your plugins, add a new plugin on your WordPress website, and you can just paste Google Tag Manager for WordPress into the search field. And just make sure that it's by Thomas Geiger, and you can install it on your WordPress website with a one-click plugin installation. Once the plugin is installed, you want to activate it. Once it's active, you want to go to the settings and set up your Google Tag Manager. So it's pretty easy. You actually don't need to put any code in there. You just need to enter your Google Tag Manager ID. And your Google Tag Manager ID is generally in your workspace on Google Tag Manager. And it's this little number over here on the right, starting with GTM. And you can right click on that and just copy it. You don't have to copy the link, just copy the characters. Go back to your WordPress site and paste it in there. Now, there are a couple of options for placing the container on your website. One is at the footer of the page, which is not recommended by Google. If you actually go to Google Tag Manager and you click on your admin tab and you go to install Google Tag Manager where you'll find the code, you'll see that Google Tag Manager actually wants you to install two snippets of code, one in the head and one immediately after the opening of the body. So Google does not necessarily recommend that you just dump all of the code in the footer. What I like to do is I like to click on Codeless Injection. So there's no tweaking that needs to be done. You don't need a developer like you would with custom. It does put it in the right placement. There is a warning that it's experimental and it could break your front end, but I've installed it this way on numerous websites. I have colleagues that have done the same thing, and it is stable. I've never seen it break a site. So that's it. You just save your changes and your code is running on your website. Now, at this point, it's especially important to make sure that any installation of Google Analytics you already have running on your website is deleted. If you do not delete the old version of your website, then you could be firing Google Analytics twice, which will bloat your data in Google Analytics. You'll see more sessions reported than you got. You'll see a lower bounce rate than you got. So it's really important to delete that. So your setup might be different, but I actually was running Google Analytics through a plugin on my site called Google Analytics for WordPress by Monster Insights. And all I want to do is deactivate that plugin, and I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And now the only thing that should be running on my website is Google Analytics. To test this, we can go back to our Google Analytics and click on real time. And I see that I have one user active on my website right now. And if I click over the location, it says that that user is in Mammoth Lakes. That is me, which means that my Google Tag Manager with the Google Analytics tag is running properly and recording traffic on my website. Another way to check and make sure your Google Tag Manager is installed properly and the tags are firing properly is to use an extension in Chrome called Google Tag Assistant. And I have that set up now. Google Tag Assistant by Google. You can just search for it in the Chrome plugin store. And if I click on that on my website, I will see that there is the main Google Tag Manager container running on my website and also the Google Analytics running on my website. Now, as you install new tags for things like the Facebook Pixel and Hotjar and whatever else, Pinterest, whatever else you want, those tags will start to line up.